Hi, my name is Dr. Alan Ludwig, and I'm a chiropractor in the Bonnie Lake, Washington area, and I wanted to share this story with you. It's a true story that happened back in the early 80s. Just finished doing a health talk, and I had a couple come up to me who had questions about their 5-year-old granddaughter. I said, I don't know if we can help her, but how about you have your daughter bring your granddaughter in? So she did, and the history was such that the mother had about an 18-hour delivery. The doctors had to use forceps, and there was a lot of force involved in this, so much so that the little girl had marks across her face and the back of her head for some time. The mother commented that her daughter was never really a healthy child, seemed to be sick all the time. When I saw her at age 5, she had dark circles under her eyes. Didn't have that pink glowy look the way 5-year-olds should. No smile about her, just not expressing life is, I guess, the best way to put it. She had been on quite a few antibiotics, a lot of medications over the years. But in the last couple of years, what had started showing up was what they were calling pain attacks. The mother said about every 3 to 4 hours, she would have these pain attacks. And you have to try to imagine what this might be like. You put your child down for bed, let's say 8 o'clock. You go to bed, and about 11 o'clock or so, you hear her screaming, blood-curdling screams. You run to her room, you pick her up. She said she would pick her up and hold her like this, and her body would arch because the pain was so severe. She's screaming into her mother's ear as she's holding her. And she said finally it would pass, and then she would just slump. And so then her mother would put her in bed. 3 o'clock in the morning, it happens again. And this is going all the time for the last at least 2 years, I believe she said. So anyway, they had done quite a few tests. When the mother went back to the doctor and said, well, okay, where do we go from here? What did you find out? The doctor said, we have nothing new to tell you. All the different tests we've done, the exams, there's nothing that tells us what's causing the problem. So the mother said, well, what do we do now? And he said, I don't have any suggestions. There's nothing else to do. So that's the point we were at when she brought her in. Anyway, I said to the mom, okay, here's what we're going to do. I explained to her what chiropractic was very briefly. I said, here's what I'm looking at. It sounds to me that this certainly was a very traumatic birth with the forceps and the length of time. And that pulling and twisting on the head and neck can misalign the vertebrae in the neck, especially the upper neck. And I said, and that can cause an interference in the signal between the brain and the rest of the body. It just can't communicate the way it should. And what I'm looking for is to find any of those areas, make corrections, and it's not going to happen just like that, but make corrections and allow this body to start healing, and let's see if we can help her. I don't know. That's where we were at. I examined this little girl, found some misalignments, as we would call them in chiropractic, subluxations in her spine, made a very gentle correction. With children, it's simply a matter of I would just use my fingers and just kind of jiggle a little bit, a little impulse like that. That was about it. And you heard a little pop, little clunk. And so as not to scare the children, I would usually say to them, let's see if you have any popcorn. And they'd hear the pop, their eyes would open up, and I go, oh, you had popcorn. So it was in morning that we saw them, adjusted her and sent her home, and I said, I want to see her tomorrow. And we were going to see her the next morning. And they didn't show up for their appointment. It was about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, now this is of the next day, that they came to the office. And when we saw them, we were very much relieved. I said to the mother, so how'd she do? And her mother says, she just woke up. I'm so sorry that we missed her appointment, but she just woke up. I said, wow, she really needed the rest, didn't she? And her mother says, Dr. Ludwig, you don't get it. Did you hear what I said? She just woke up. She never had a pain attack. I saw her about 10 o'clock the morning before. Here we are at 5 o'clock. She should have had how many? 3, 4, 5 by then? None. And she said, I actually woke up in the middle of the night and went to check on her to make sure she was breathing. But she says, no pain attack. It's amazing. And I said, that's excellent. but we need to check her again. And I had to explain to the mother that, listen, as far as I was concerned, this problem started at birth, this misalignment. So imagine we have a newborn spine, maybe this long. She's now 5 years old. Her spine is this much longer, but more importantly, the muscles, the ligaments, the nerve tissue itself has been adapting to this malposition, this nerve interference. Organs and glands have not been getting a proper nerve supply all of these years. That's why she's been so sick. So I said, I want to see her tomorrow. So we saw her the next day. We saw her every day that week because we have to keep checking. There's the problem again. Correct it. There's the problem again. I don't know how soon that problem reoccurs. Is it within an hour after they leave? 2 hours, 5 hours? I don't know. But I just know that when I saw her the next day, we had to make corrections again. By the following week, we only needed to see her every other day. When we got to about the third week, something interesting happened. She really surprised me by taking, I think it was Big Bird, and putting Big Bird down on the table and saying, I want you to check Big Bird for popcorn. I said, okay. So I said, you better hold his little body because when I'm checking him, I don't want him rolling off of there. Okay. So she's holding him. And I said, oh, I think I found something. And I just did like what I do on her, did that, and I made a little noise. And she did that, and I said, what was that? She goes, Big Bird had popcorn. I go, yeah, good thing we checked him. Now, each time she came in, we kept going through this. I adjusted Barbie, and I don't know who else I adjusted, but we kept checking them. Mother says to me, Dr. Ludwig, do you know why she has you check her family? Remember I said that's her family. I said, oh, this is just a cute little thing we got going on here. She goes, oh, no, this is not a game to her. She said, I don't want them to get pain attacks like I did. I don't want them to get tummy aches like I did. I don't want them to have any of that. So I want them to get checked first. Do you get the bigness of this? And you may not if you don't know what chiropractic's about. Usually people come to our office because they have a symptom. Help me get rid of this symptom. My neck pain, my back pain, my headaches, whatever it might be. And by the way, we don't treat those conditions. We're simply helping the body to work better, to work more normally. She got the idea, the big idea that if I get them checked before they have pain attacks, before they have belly aches, that would be a better thing. Do you see the bigness of that? Because as a 5-year-old, they have great imaginations. Couldn't she have said, Dr. Ludwig, would you check Big Bird? He told me he's got a tummy ache. He told me he has a headache. He told me he had a pain attack. Don't you see she could have done that? But she didn't. She thought this out. I want them to get checked before they have the pain. That just blew me away. So that's why I wanted to share this with you. If you have any questions, give our office a call. Again, I want to say this. We are not claiming to treat any conditions. We simply look to help the body function properly. Thanks for listening.